Hi, friends. So, I thought I would take a minute to introduce myself properly and give you all a little bit of a rundown of who I am and what I'm trying to achieve, and obviously why I am trying to achieve it. So, my name is Belinda. I am the founder of Addicted to Money. I have had a very abusive relationship with money. It all started, when I was about 23. I found myself in my first management position. So I was a practice manager of a dental surgery. I was in dental in total for about 14 years. And I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved dental. But I found myself working for a corporate company. And obviously, I was just underpaid, overworked, underpaid. So obviously, having that business background and the management with finance and accounts and blah, 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 I found myself winging a job in the mines as a finance officer, funny enough. Before I ended up getting myself into the mines as a finance officer, I found myself in a bit of a pickle. So I, like many women out there, found myself in an abusive relationship, and he managed to get me in a lot of debt with nothing to show for it. So I was living off credit cards, maxing out credit cards, getting another credit card, maxing out that credit card with every intention of paying out the first credit card, and then just finding myself snowballing in absolute debt. My main goal was to pay back my original debt that I was left in, because I either had a choice of getting myself out of that debt that I was left in or going bankrupt. Don't get me wrong, bankruptcy at the time was something that I was really looking into, but it just wasn't something that I wanted to see myself do in my future. And I knew that if I buckled down, I'd be right. But again, like I said, I ended up snowballing in credit card debt and really struggling to get myself out of it. So I was just paying minimum repayments just to get by, because I was trying to live. I was trying to have fun with my friends, which just wasn't happening. So I started to self-educate. I had no idea. I had completely buckles idea of how much debt I was actually getting myself into, and the repercussions of that on my credit score, on everything. I was like, surely there has to be another way out. So I ended up getting in that job, and then that second job. I think I've always had two jobs my whole life, because I've always been pretty good with money, but I've never gotten myself into debt and got myself out of it until then. So I knuckled down, got myself out of debt, and I found myself using a book, just a book, and writing everything down. I attempted to use an Excel spreadsheet. That was, a downloadable one that I paid for and everything like that, but it didn't have everything that I needed. It didn't include this and it didn't include that. And then you go through your budget and you go, oh, shit, I need to think about this. How the hell am I going to pay for rego? If I'm putting all my money away for here and this and that and whatever. And there was just so many missing pieces to all of these structures. So I ended up literally using a book, writing everything down, and I called it my bills book. It's how I tracked everything. It's how I made sure that I had enough money for everything. I lived like an absolute pauper, but I got there. 3 years. I got myself out of $127,000 worth of debt. I still managed to pay myself and gave myself treat money So that would be whether once a month I went out for lunch with the girls, or I went out and had a couple of cocktails and had fun, but I had a budget for it. It was, I went out with a certain amount of money and I only took that cash. And if I spent that cash, I spent that cash. But I put myself in such a mindset that my goal was to always come home with money. It was like, if I came home with change, that was more money I could save. Listen, it worked. 3 years, $127,000 worth of debt, gone. So proud of myself. 2 years after I was debt free, I built my first house. How? Oh, luck. Don't know. Sheer determined. I was just so determined to make something of myself from a man that destroyed me, put me in a hole, made me feel completely worthless, to watch this space. I'm going to create something here. And I did. That's when I met my amazing husband. I am in absolute awe of this man. My weaknesses are his strengths are my weaknesses. It's vice versa. We are a yin and yang of perfect harmony. He is adorable. Anyways, him and I knuckled down, did better. He had a house that he had from a separation. We had to put a lot of money into that to refinance it and whatnot. We stuck it out, waited for the market to come back, got rid of it real fast because it just wasn't the right place for us. And sometimes you just know. Sometimes you need to know when to let go of certain things, and it was a perfect time to let go of that property. So we did. And then the market just kicked off and we knew that we wanted to relocate. We didn't want to stay in Mackay. We wanted to end up in Yeppoon. So Luke's daughter lives in a completely different suburb to us, closer to Yeppoon. So we wanted to be closer to her. So that's when we decided that we knew what we had to do to get what we needed. So like I said, the market was really good. So we put the house that I just built on the market 12 months later and bought our block of land in Yeppoon, which for the people that know me will be seeing it splattered all over socials, because that is something that we are beyond proud of, because this is our absolute dream. Not only is this everything that we've ever possibly wanted in a house, in something to raise a family with, to grow old in, everything is just our absolute dream. Anyways, I need to wash out this head. Stay tuned.